Have you ever wondered what Trump thinks of woke culture? Well, hold on to your seats, because we're about to explore the clash between the former president and one of today's most talked about cultural movements. Trump has never been one to mince words, especially when it comes to issues that are reshaping society. So what does he really think about the woke agenda? Let's jump straight into 2 videos of him summarizing his beliefs.
You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
Woke means you're a loser.
Right.
Everybody ultimately loses with woke. And I'll tell you, I'm watching parents in Virginia and parents, they're tired of it. They don't want it. They're finally getting it.
Yeah.
The school boards, they're throwing these maniacs out, and it's been great to watch.
Yeah.
Now that we have set the record straight, let's dive in on today's episode. What will Trump reply when asked about Kamala Harris's pronouns?
Kamala Harris in her Twitter bio, which I never noticed until this morning, states her pronouns as she/her. What are your pronouns?
I don't want pronouns. I don't want pronouns. I saw
So
that.
you're fluid? What is that?
Nobody even knows what that means. Ask her to describe exactly what that means.
Well, what is that? Why are people
Nobody
doing that?
knows.
Well, what is
No,
that?
because they're going crazy, all right? We have to bring our country back to sanity.
Let's hear Trump go on a rant about woke and everything he would change if he was to be elected again.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day 1, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. We will also investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers, which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of In all of human history, nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
How will Donald Trump react when a woke girl asks him about his view on women and the gender pay gap? Let's see.
Go ahead.
Okay. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but I don't think that you're a friend to women.
I knew I shouldn't have picked her. I knew I shouldn't have picked her. All right, so let me give you that answer right now. I respect women incredibly. I have had women working for me in positions that they've never worked in terms of construction, in terms of so many different jobs. I had a woman who was in charge of the building of Trump Tower many years ago, before anybody would have even thought of it, and did a fantastic job. I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry. I have a daughter named Ivanka and a wife named Melania who constantly want me to talk about women's health issues because they know how I feel about it, and they know how I feel about women. I respect women. I love women. I cherish women. You know, Hillary Clinton said he shouldn't cherish. Well, I said, I do cherish. I cherish women. My mother was one of the great people of the world, maybe the greatest ever, my mother. I respect women, and I'm going to take care of women. You know, Jeb Bush didn't want to fund women's health issues. You read that. You saw that. And then he took it back later. I will take care of women, and I have great respect for women, and I do cherish women. And I will take care of women. And I'll take care of us also from the enemy, meaning the enemy on different shores that's looking to come in and do numbers. Believe me, I will take care of the people in this country far better than any of the folks that you're looking at right now. That I can tell you. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, I thought it was finished.
Is it on? Okay. I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
The United States military has always been a symbol of unmatched strength, unwavering discipline, and unbreakable unity. But today, it's facing a new kind of challenge, a cultural shift that's igniting fierce debates and reshaping the fabric of our armed forces. With woke culture making its way into the military, questions are being raised about what this means for the future of our national defense. And you can bet Donald Trump has some strong opinions on the matter. What does he think about these changes, and how does he believe they're affecting the military's core mission? Let's dive into his response.
Earlier this year, the Biden administration issued new rules pushing twisted, critical race theory into classrooms across the nation and also into our military. Our generals and our admirals are now focused more on this nonsense than they are on our enemies. You see these generals lately on television? They are woke. They're woke. Our military will be incapable of fighting and incapable of taking orders. You're going to tell some private, stand up. You stand up right now. I'm not standing up. You can't talk to me that way, General. We're going to have a whole different ballgame here. I don't know how they're going to work that out. The private's going to tell the general, don't you ever speak to me that way, General. I'll kick your That's our military. That's where we're going. Woke. I know some of these guys. Boy, they changed quickly. They went right over to the other side. I heard that about a couple of them. The military brass have become weak and ineffective leaders, and our enemies are watching and they're laughing.
Thank you for tuning in on this episode. Please subscribe and leave a like if you liked it.